Mes amis, strapping for All Might new god tier weapon encounter with All For One is nothing short of legendary. All Might and All For One are squaring off again. The chapter immediately takes us back to the time between All Might and All For One, a battle that was teased a tantalizing 10 chapters ago. After All For One's devious triumph over the heroes at Gunga, he soared off with the intention of locating Shigaraki. But oh no, things are not going as smoothly with turning Shigaraki into his new vessel, and so physical contact is required to complete the job. During the intense clash at Gunga, Hawks keenly observed that All For One's de-aging process amplified his power but simultaneously left him unable to stifle negative emotions, so then cue the epic return of All Might, with Tsukushi trying to talk some sense into him, but ever the stubborn hero insists this is how it has to be. Tsukushi, after all, this was always my fight. All For One to reach Shigaraki before his body is erased from existence, and so the battle of time begins. In a Batman-esque move, All Might takes his Batmobile, pun intended, to intercept All For One's flight path, counting the villain into confronting him. A smarter move for All For One would have been to ignore All Might and continue to Shigaraki, but the DH villain can't suppress his burning resentment. The history, the past defeats, the grave injuries, All For One simply must confront his old rival. We are reminded that All Might's weakened state, and his decision to face the villain seems a fool's errand. But oh, what's this? All Might's briefcase and car begin to morph, encasing him into a superhero exoskeleton reminiscent of Iron Man's suit. So voila, all speculations were correct, and All Might became encased in an Iron Man style armor. The memories of Sir Night Eye's foreboding prophecy loom large, but All Might bravely declares, "I am here, I am queer, I am ready to..." No, he didn't say that, but he does say "I am here" as his body dons the high-tech armor. Only his mouth remains uncovered, adhering to Nana's teaching that a hero should always be smiling. The armor is a fantastic blend of Iron Man and a cyberpunk Batman, perfectly capturing the essence of All Might's unique heroism. And of course, the car Hercules starts recording everything as La Brava contemplates streaming the fight to the world. Tsukushi and the police are skeptical, but the stage is set, the battle lines are drawn, and his unforgettable and unwavering smile is ready to face his nemesis. All For One, never want to be outdone, goes all in with an energy beam attack so intense that it disintegrates his own arm up to the elbow. Naturally, he starts regenerating, but his rage is palpable. Abandoning his preference for long-range attack, he dives downward, getting closer to All Might. The stakes rise as All Might, playing it cool and calculated, uses an unknown attack called Black Whip to trap All Might with mechanical ropes, and All For One fury is met with All Might's cold strategy, and the battle takes a turn towards the unexpected. Now, back at the police HQ, Tsukushi is watching the unfolding battle, his face etched with concern for All Might. The brother's teasing words are yet to come, and the tension in the headquarters is building, reflecting the intensity of the fight itself. On the battlefield, All Might's next move is to call his electric attack Charge Bolt. He reels All For One in using a technique called Cellophane, and then dashes at him with an ability named Sugarman. The details of the suit remain obscure, but it's clear that All Might's strategies are multi-layered and nuanced specifically for All For One. The action continues with All Might tribute to his students, and he shouts out their quirk during the battle. The connection he has between them is not just emotional but strategic, as the chapter further reveals the powerful armored suit's abilities based on his students' quirks. The characters of Professor David Shield and his daughter, Melissa Shield, are brought into the picture as the creators of All Might's suits. Their presence adds depth and connection to the MHA universe, but the full capability of the suits are yet to be. Now the battle reaches a climactic point, and All For One's retaliation after losing his arm is swift and brutal, but he's not the only one with a few tricks up his sleeve. Oh no. All Might's new power, Black Whip, is infused with electricity. They serve to hinder All For One's regeneration. All Might, being the clever hero he is, nicknamed this electric attack Charge Bolt. But hold on, All Might isn't done showing off his student-inspired skills. He reels in All For One's with a new technique called Cellophane, and then he gets all Spielberg on us, propelling himself with anti-gravity boots in a move called Sugarman. Not the most intimidating name, but it gets the job done. This battle is not just physical, it's a tribute to his student. As All Might summons the courage for possibly his final battle, He shouts out the quirks of all of his students. It's not just about punches and kicks. All Might's armored suit, customized by his American pals, Professor David Shield and his daughter, Melissa, reflects his faith in his students. It's like a rock star doing a farewell tour. But don't think it's all sunshine and rainbow. All Might's not naive. He acknowledges All for One's strategy, clumsy long-range attack followed by quirk stealing. But All Might's quirkless now. Your regular strategy doesn't apply here, All for One. Back to the drawing board, buddy. At the police HQ, Tsukoshi's disbelief in All Might's prowess is mocked by La Brava. The battle feels a comedy club now, and All Might's delivering the punchlines. But All Might's not just playing the crowd. He talks directly to Tsukoshi, proclaiming his refusal to lose. The chapter doesn't end with a whimper, but with a bang. And as All Might delivers a kick to All for One's face, a move taken straight from Deku's playbook. And that move's called Shoot Style Smash, and it's a classic. So the MHA universe, where plot twists and epic showdowns are the order of the day. And speaking of twists, let's talk about All for One stopping to fight All Might instead of heading straight to Shigaraki. Why the detour, my guy? Is it arrogance? A need to prove superiority? Or something more sinister? Let's dive into the mystery, shall we? Why should All for One pass up the straight path to Shigaraki for a detour to a memory lane with All Might? Perhaps it's not about strategy, but about ego. All for One, with all his cunning and manipulative prowess, seems to be drawn to All Might like a moth to a flame. And there's a twisted admiration, a need to prove once and for all who's the true symbol of power. Although, in this case, All for One just seem to be taken out the trash. But let's not overlook All Might's new suit. Technology mimicking quirks? A god-tier weapon inspired by his students? Could this be a sign of a shift in the MHA universe? Or even surprise quirks? I think it's a tantalizing glimpse into the future where even the quirklets might rise to greatness. I mean, after all, if All Might can make a comeback, why not anyone else? But back to the battle at hand. The grim prophecy of Sir Nanai lingers over All Might like a dark cloud. I mean, will this battle lead to his heroic sacrifice? Or will he defy fate? Triumph over All for One? Very unlikely. And maybe even settle down with Deku's mom. Possibilities. I mean, then there's the beautiful integration of characters like Professor David Shield and his daughter Melissa. It's not just fan service, it's a reminder of All Might's journey and a connection to the broader MHA universe. So I have questions. Will All Might's new suits redefine heroism? Will All for One's obsession with All Might be his downfall? Will I finally find the socks I lost to my dryer?